This is a journey to meet Mars in your astrology birth chart. I'm doing it to trance drumming because I feel this helps us go beyond the everyday world and open ourselves to our bigger knowing, our inner knowing. And I'm doing the journey for Mars, to meet Mars, your Mars, but Mars in the generic sense, not going into the detail of your chart in this journey, because I feel it is so valuable for us as an astrologer to have a picture of Mars. For 5 years, I did a field study for Bristol University, a social anthropology and ethnography of spiritual forms new to the modern West. And that included Tibetan Buddhism and Hinduism. And in both those tantric spiritual paths, it's essential, it's taught, to develop clear appearance of the deity. So you can see the deity. So you can call the deity into your consciousness whenever you need. And indeed, you can embody the deity. And so what does Mars look like? Parashara, the Vedic sage, wrote, Mars is cruel. He has blood-red eyes. He is ill-mannered, yet generous. He's bitter or fiery in constitution. He's prone to anger, and he's slim with thin waist and body. So pause to get a picture of the Vedic planetary god, Kuja, or Mars. And it's important to know that Mars has two manifestations. His energy comes from the planet to each of us, to each of our human consciousnesses, through two signs, Aries and Scorpio. And these are very different sorts of Mars, because Aries is the warrior Mars up in the sun realm of the sky. And Scorpio is the watery Mars of aggression and turbulence, the underworld. And yet it's far more psychic and occult, especially if it can sort out the spiritual message in the serpent energies of the waters. And the Aries Mars has a spiritual ethic too, of the necessary warrior, the ethical warrior, the defender, the engineer, the man of action, the woman of action, strategy. And so we modify our original picture of Mars with two different Mars pictures. And indeed, these different Mars pictures are found in Vedic spirituality, in ancient Greek spirituality, in Babylonian spirituality. And we need to meet both and see both clearly. And we can't understand our charts or other people's charts, natally or predictively, until we have seen the two bodies and faces of Mars. The war god, the occultist. The sky god, the serpent god. And so having developed the two pictures, we now need to look at the characteristics which each of these Mars God beings embody. And each of them will be in us, although to different degrees of strength, depending on where Mars is in our chart, by sign, by house, by planetary strength, by aspect. So Mars essentially is quick, decisive, and restless. Mars is direct. He is outspoken and assertive. He is willful and harsh in his basic nature. Mars is cruel. He requires of us hard work and pain. He wants success. He doesn't care about comfort or harmony or luxury. He manifests in our life as our needed fire, our needed potency, our needed will, our needed action, energy and courage, technology, war, independence, initiative, challenge, and daring. To what extent does your Mars embody these? Enough? Too much? Or not enough? Because Mars is basic energy, which floods towards each human consciousness, is the action man who injects action into projects and can trash everything around. Where Mars is in your chart shows where you will put your energy for success or for failure. And it will affect the house Mars occupies and the houses Mars rules and the planets Mars aspects or effects. And Mars has a mental quality, a sharp principle of differentiation, views, beliefs. He can trash beliefs. He can promulgate them. But he can be erratic, and he can be surprisingly generous and open-handed when he wants to be. So, pause for a moment to build up this picture of Mars, the warrior in you, technology in you, action in you, mental qualities in you. So Mars is your muscle structure and your weapons. Mars is your self-reliance and independence for good or ill. Mentally, Mars is critical, perceptive and discriminating. He strongly influences your sexual matters, positively or negatively. Mars is the essence of your primitive aggressive urges, including athletics and sport. Mars is impulse, orientation, passion, your basic instinct and survival. Is your Mars, the healthy warrior, able to display anger and strength when needed? Or are you militaristic and violent, maybe the victim of your turbulent mind, your hormones, your scripts for overrunning, your critical mind? Because Mars can spark misunderstanding, hostility, litigation, and endemic arguments. And he's fueled by discontent. But a weak Mars is the incompetent weakling. lack of manliness making achievement difficult. And even if weak in the warrior sense, Mars can still be the successful lawyer or scientist, the healer if in Virgo, the dentist, the surgeon, the occultist if in Scorpio. And so these are strengths. And then we come to afflicted Mars. And so we need to pause now, still keeping the image of Mars or the images of Mars in our mind's eye. And we need to consider, how was Mars handled in your childhood? The young child needs to develop a young hero Mars. It's impulsive, it's immature, but it's noble in purpose, and it strives to win the blessing and the admiration of his parents. He or she wants separateness to be acknowledged, not crushed, not shamed, not abused, not crushed under spiritual dogma, political correctness. Not crushed. But the hero or the heroine acknowledged. And negative subpersonalities not encouraged. The grandstander bully, the coward. Because if our Mars is blocked, it results in embedded anger, embedded in our body and our mind all our life, unless we can heal it. Victimization, great unconscious rage, and where do we direct that? What does it do to our health, our mind? We need to heal aspects of our parenting that damage the presence of the God energy of Mars within us, that filter it out. Where signs or houses or aspects show in what ways the filtering out might have occurred. The karmic scripts our soul chose for us to work on. Because neglected or thwarted Mars results in chronic depression, misery, apathy, deadness, dishonesty, tiredness, escaping into philosophies or ideologies of non-attachment or selflessness, where in fact we're also incarnating to express our meant talent this time. And block Mars can produce fanaticism. And Mars can become corroded by guilt, where the guilt is the result of being put on the wrong course to start. And now, see Mars with the other planets ranged on either side of him, to his left, to his right. See Mars next to the Sun. What tone and direction does your Sun set for Mars? Can the Sun give Mars the commitment and stability and leadership he needs? Can the Sun control Mars? Do authority figures in your life support your Mars or trash it? Mars will be shamed and angry if the divine Sun, as the divine Sun appears in your chart, in your life, does not respect him. Mars will get agitated if the Sun imposes wrong expectations, ideals and dogmas at odds with your true Mars needs, your true Mars nature. And this can lead to explosion, anti-authority, reactive rebellion, loss of your path of inspiration, damage to your sexual relationships. And now, Lord Shani, Saturn, Lord of Karma, steps deliberately forward to stand next to Mars. You see the need for discipline. You see the need for structure. You see the need for structure awareness. Do you let your Mars trash Saturn? Conversely, is your destiny that Saturn will starve Mars, causing great frustration, difficulty initiating anything, getting outside the front door even, difficulty balancing action and structure, difficulty utilizing logic, difficulty successfully manifesting the qualities of the house in question. And now Guru Jupiter steps forward. Are you in touch with Jupiter in a way that will give the needed purpose for your Mars to function? Then Uranus steps forward next to Mars. Will your Mars be inventive, needed revolution brought in, needed change, needed destruction of the old unwanted? Or will you simply be erratic and irritable? Uranus Mars. And then Neptune flows forward to stand next to Mars. You see that Mars is able to penetrate and utilize the realms of intuition and dreams. Or you see that Mars can be drawn into Neptune's swamp of clinging illusion, of life-losing delusion. Now Pluto appears on his throne with Mars before him, deep in the underworld of your unconscious drives, the place of death where you can gain rebirth and healing. Pluto's energy is implacable and explosive, huge. Does it create a willful, explosive Mars that trashes your energies and ruins the lives of those around you? Or can Pluto and Mars combine to give you ability to transform, to bring in needed death and rebirth, to bring in the deep intuition, the tectonic knowing that Pluto is capable of, the occult awareness. And now The Centaur steps forward. Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron, who went down into Hades to win healing through sacrifice, healing through death and rebirth in the underworld, so that Prometheus could be freed and so that Prometheus could bring to each human, including you, the fire of heaven. Mars can work so well with the Centaur. How do you align with Mars and the Centaur? Mercury zooms next to your Mars. Will this be intellectually incisive or sharp-tongued? When Mercury starves Mars, your thought processes and your concepts can nullify needed action. The theorist who does nothing. The spiritual formalist who loses his or her Mars. Mercury's mentalism can agitate Mars and make Mars very frustrated, very aggressive, and very ready to fight. Venus and Mars stand together. The myth of Aries and Aphrodite shows how Venus did not find the comfort and security she wanted with warrior Mars, who was all quick passion and action, and then fell asleep or dashed off to the next battle. And the Moon and Mars, not easy now that you see them next to each other. The Moon, agitated, excoriated by the proximity of Mars. And yet, if you can get them to work together, your Mars can achieve what the Moon needs. Your Mars can achieve what the Moon wants if you use your perception and implement the right strategies and stick to them. And thus, Mars and the Moon can create happiness. What is the spiritual expression of the divine energy of Mars? It is penetrating intuition. It is penetrating occult development. It is the achievement of truth. It is the giving of spiritual discipline, of self-discipline, of correct life strategy to best manifest Mars energies. Mars causes discontent. And we need to perceive this, not be destabilized, but be impelled to seek the better, the more healing, the more ideal, the closer to the truth. And when we are off course, Mars brings out the dark side of the ancient earth energy. The Titans emerge, the destroyers. Chaos is created because wrongness was prevailing. Because the energy of Mars is the flame contained in matter. Mars is your experience of men, of your father, if a woman, of husband, if a man, of friends and colleagues. How does Mars appear as a god? What is your life script that your soul chose for your experience of Mars before you heal and purify it? How does Mars appear in your chart?